morning, dear students. I am Ms. NAVEDA SHAIKH from Brahan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's session, we'll be learning something new and interesting from a science textbook. So let's get started. Good morning, dear students. I am Mrs. NAVEDA SHAIKH from MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's class, we will be studying a very interesting chapter from your EVS 1 textbook. And the chapter's name is Growth and Personality Development. Now, as the name suggests, growth and personality development. Now, growth तो हम लोग सबको पता है growth क्या होती है, ठीक है? We have learned that when you were small, you were a kid, you were a very small in size also, your weight was less, right? But now you have grown up. But in this chapter, we will be learning more about what exactly is the meaning of growth and what is personality development. Okay, so without wasting time, let's continue ahead and learn something new and interesting. So read the information about yourself entered in your report card and fill in the following table. In standard 1, you have to write down the height and weight which was given in the report card. The height could be mentioned, what could be 100 centimeters, and the weight could be 20 kgs. In standard 2nd, the height would have increased and the height would be 110 centimeters and the weight could be 22 kgs. ठीक है, ये ज़रूरी नहीं सबका ऐसा ही हो, किसी का कम ज़्यादा हो सकता है, ठीक है. But if you notice, you will see that in standard 1, when you were quite young as compared to standard 2, the height was less, you were smaller in height also, and your weight was also less, ठीक है, as compared to when you went in the second standard. When you went in the second standard, your height increased, along with that your weight also increased, ठीक है. तो इस तरीके से हमारी हाइट भी बढ़ती जाती है एंड हमारा वेट भी बढ़ता जा रहा है एज यू ग्रो, ठीक है. दिस इंक्रीज इन हाइट एंड वेट इज वन ऑफ द वे ऑफ शोइंग यू दैट यू आर ग्रोइंग, ठीक है. ये एक तरीका है हमारी बॉडी का हम लोगों को बताने का कि हम लोग बढ़ रहे हैं, हम लोग ग्रो हो रहे हैं. All living things eat and grow physically. Similarly, we too grow in height and weight from birth to adulthood. You must have seen a plant. When you see a plant, I'll be showing you all that also. A seed. अगर हम लोग एक seed sow करते हैं तो वो एक plant में develop हो जाता है. Same way even us. When you are small, you eat and then your body grows physically. ठीक है? And when you are growing, your height increases, your weight increases. You will see this also from the information that your friends enter about themselves. Some of them will be more than you in height or high weight, while some will be less. But they will all have gained in height and weight since they were in standard 1 or 2. This is because the first 18 years are the growing years for all boys and girls. ठीक है, तो चाहे हम लोग की वेट या हाइट कम हो हमारे फ्रेंड के साथ कंपैरिजन में, बट हम लोग हमेशा नोटिस करेंगे कि हमारा फ्रेंड की भी हाइट बढ़ रही है, उसका भी वेट बढ़ रहा है और हमारा भी हाइट और वेट बढ़ रहा है. This shows that you all are growing and this will happen up till the age of 18 years in both boys and girls. ठीक है, किसी किसी का 21 years तक की ग्रोथ होता है, but mostly it is 18 years of age it is taken कि हमारी बॉडी ग्रो करती है in terms of height. Let us see this picture and understand growth in plants. ठीक है, like here in this picture you can see that there is a small seed. ठीक है, this seed when it is sown inside the soil, it is now growing into a plant. It is producing leaves. The leaves will then produce flowers and then it will produce fruits and then again you will have seeds coming from the plant. So this shows that there is growth in plants also. ठीक है, तो plants also grow. You must have seen if you have plants in your house, आप लोगों ने देखे होंगे कि अगर हम लोग plant करते हैं कोई भी seed, it will grow into a plant, it will have a proper stem, it will have leaves, it will bear fruits, flowers, everything. ठीक है, so same thing is happening in our body also. We are also growing in height and in weight. Same thing happens in animals also. If you see this picture, it will help you understand better. You can see that there is an egg. ठीक है, when this egg the hen hatches the egg, what will happen? You will find that a small chick comes out from the egg. If you notice the size, the height of the egg and the chick, it is very small as compared to the hen, right? तो बट ये क्या बता रहा है कि एक एग, छोटा सा एग होता है, उसमें एक छोटा सा चिकन का जो बच्चा होता है, चिक होता है, ठीक है, इट इज़ वेरी स्मॉल इन हाइट एंड देन इट फीड्स। जब वो खाता है और ग्रो होता है, उसकी हाइट भी बढ़ती है, उसका स्ट्रक्चर भी चेंज होता है। यू कैन सी उसके अंदर फेदर्स आ जाते हैं, उसका कलर भी डिफरेंट हो जाता है। So this is showing that there is growth in animals also. Here you can see a cat. See, here it is very clearly shown how this kitten is growing into a big cat. Yes, everybody can see the changes. When this cat was small, when it was a small kitten, you can see the size, the height, the weight. जैसे जैसे ये बढ़ रहा है, उसका weight भी बढ़ रहा है, वो वजन में भी बड़ी होती जा रही है और उसकी height भी बढ़ रही है ना? So this is one more example of growth in animals. Growth in humans, हम लोगों ने हमारे घर में ये example देखे होंगे. You must have seen when you have a small baby in the house, उसकी जो height है, उसके जो weight है, how are they? They crawl, they do not talk, they do not walk, है ना? But over a few years, they start to walk, and then after a few years they can run also, and then their height grows on increasing, ठीक है, until they reach adulthood. जैसे हम लोग बड़े हो जाते हैं, हमारी हाइट बढ़ना बंद हो जाती है, ठीक है, बट हमारा वेट बढ़ता कम होता, इट कैन हैपन। वेट के ऊपर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, वेट कैन इंक्रीज एंड डिक्रीज ऑल्सो, बट द हाइट कीप्स ऑन इंक्रीजिंग। यू कैन सी हाउ देयर इज चेंजेस। जैसे जैसे हम लोग की हाइट बढ़ती है, हमारी बॉडी बढ़ रही है, एंड वंस यू बिकम ओल्ड, you can see how there is a change in the body also. As you grow, you learn various skills. You must have learned skipping. ठीक है, स्किपिंग करना आता है ना हम लोगों को। जब हम लोग स्किपिंग करते हैं, इट इज़ वन ऑफ द वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग गेम दैट यू प्ले विच हेल्प्स इन द ग्रोथ ऑफ योर बॉडी ऑल्सो। ठीक है, हमारी हाइट इंक्रीज करने में ही हमारी मदद करता है, फिट रहने में मदद करता है, बिकॉज इट इज़ वन ऑफ द टाइप ऑफ एन एक्सरसाइज दैट यू कैन परफॉर्म। ठीक है, बट ये स्किपिंग भी हम लोगों को जब पैदा होते फौरन नहीं आ जाती है। स्किपिंग ऑल्सो यू लर्न ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। व्हेन योर फ्रेंड्स प्ले स्किपिंग, you ask them how it is played, and then they help you out कि इसको ऐसे खेला जाता है। You watch them playing and then you try, and after a few days you become a pro in playing skipping. You can also you will also notice that when you are born, you are not able to comb your hair, but now you can comb your hair also by yourself. हम लोगों के पहले पेरेंट्स हमारे बाल कोम करते थे, बट नाउ as you are all grown up and you all are in fifth standard, you are now able to dress yourself. आप लोग अपने आप से यूनिफॉर्म पहन सकते हो, शूज बांध सकते हो, you can comb your hair, right? So this is also one of the life skills that you have. Apart from that, some of the students are very good in swimming also. Swimming is also one of the skills that you learn. ठीक है, ये हम लोगों को नेचुरली नहीं आती है, हम लोगों को ये सीखनी पड़ती है। ठीक है, तो हम लोगों को स्विमिंग करना भी आना चाहिए। There are many students right now who know how to swim. ठीक है, and if you do not know, you should try and learn swimming as well. Some are very good in climbing also. Many students can climb on a tree, right? So this is also very important skill that few of the students have. There are a few actions done by us like painting, drawing, running, washing utensils. These are a few actions that you have done in your house knowingly and unknowingly. ठीक है, कि ये हम लोग कर रहे हैं. These are all very important activities that जो हम लोगों को करनी आनी चाहिए और जो हम लोग करते हैं. ठीक है, right now you all are able to read and listen to what I am teaching you. अभी आप लोगों के सामने जो लिखा हुआ है स्क्रीन पे, you can read that. ठीक है, that is also one of the skills that you have developed over the time. When you were born, you could not speak. but now you can actually read the sentence, read the words that are there on the screen. How has this come? You have learned this over the time. ठीक है, हम लोग ये आगे जैसे जैसे हमारी एज बढ़ती जाती है, हमारे अंदर डेवलपमेंट होती जाती है, ग्रोथ होती है, और उस वजह से हम लोग इतने केपेबल हो जाते हैं कि वी आर एबल टू learn and read on our own. So here you can see running, painting, drawing, washing vessels. Small babies cannot do anything for themselves, right? We all know कि हम लोग के घरों में जब बच्चे छोटे छोटे बेबीज होते हैं वो खुद से अपना कुछ भी काम नहीं कर सकते, ना वो लोग खुद से खाना खा सकते हैं, ना चल सकते हैं, ठीक है, ना पॉटी धो सकते हैं. So small babies cannot do anything for themselves. If they need something, they can only cry and beat about with their legs and arms. You must have seen कि जब भी बच्चों को कुछ भूख लगती है तो वो लोग रोने लग जाते हैं या फिर उन लोग अपना हाथ और पैर मारने लगते हैं. Now that is indicating that they need something. ठीक है, so the parents go and check whether they have done toilet or susu in their nappies, or are they hungry. ठीक है, so depending upon the child's need, they do certain acts like crying or beating their hands or legs on the ground. ठीक है. But soon they begin to get control over some of their movements and develop coordination between different movements. Here you can see the child which was not able to move also, now after a few months is able to crawl on its own. ठीक है, क्रॉलिंग करने में भी उन लोगों को अपना हाथ और पैर दोनों साथ में मूव करना पड़ता है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज कोऑर्डिनेशन. ठीक है, एज वी लर्न अबाउट आवर नर्वस सिस्टम इन अ प्रीवियस लेसन कि हमारे हाथ और पैर में जो मूवमेंट होती है, कोऑर्डिनेशन होता है, दैट इज ऑल डेवलप्ड इन आवर बॉडी. ठीक है, तो ये जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं इसमें ये थोड़ा टाइम बाद ये डेवलप होने लग जाता है, एंड देन देयर इज प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन इन देम in their actions. For example, they learn to turn their head and look at something they choose. If they recognize someone, they smile. They learn to grip and hold things and then to take them towards their mouth. You must have seen the kids which are very young, about 5 to 6 months old. They are able to, जब वो लोग पैदा होते हैं तो उन लोग की गर्दन भी उन लोग पकड़ नहीं पाते, and parents often tell you कि उसकी गर्दन सही से पकड़ो, right? Because their body is not very developed. But over a period of time, their bodies tends to become मोर उन लोगों की बॉडी अच्छी तरीके से बन जाती है, एंड नाउ दे आर एबल टू होल्ड देयर हेड प्रॉपर्ली. They can smile when they look at somebody, they recognize and they smile. They also learn to hold a grip over something and then put it in their mouth. When they were just a small newborn babies, they could not put anything in their mouth also. But over a period of time, after some times, few months pass, they develop those things in them by themselves. ये कोई चीज़ सिखाया नहीं जाता उन लोगों को, चलना, क्रॉल करना, चीज़ें मुंह में डालना, ये बच्चे ऑटोमेटिकली सीख जाते हैं. What does everyone feel when a baby says her first word or takes a step for the first time? What do they do? When they start to speak something, or when they start to stand on their own, they do not start to walk immediately. They tend to fall sometime and then they sit down. Then again they stand up, try to stand up and walk. Okay? So this happens over a period of time, and then after a few months they get a practice, and they practice by themselves, and then they become pro, and then they start to walk properly, and without falling they walk. Same thing happens when they start to speak. When they start to say certain words, they say some words only. They do not form sentences. So over a period of time, like over a few years, like when they become 3 to 4 years of age, then they start to speak proper sentences. They are able to form sentences and speak properly. ठीक है, तो हर बच्चा जब पैदा होता है तो they do not have those capabilities to do this work, but over the period of time these skills are developed in them without anybody teaching them. ठीक है, हम लोगों को उन्हें चलना सिखाना नहीं पड़ता, उन लोगों को बोलना सिखाना नहीं पड़ता, but they automatically listen and observe people and then they do those things. Here you can see this child, he is not able to eat by himself, right? When they are small kids, they are not able to eat by themselves, so they have to be fed. उन लोगों को खिलाना पड़ता है. Here you can see this girl who is now able, who has grown up, ठीक है, थोड़ी बड़ी हो चुकी है ना, तो now this girl is able to hold the can and take a sip from the tetra pack of the juice, ठीक है. तो now here you can see the difference कि जब बच्चे पैदा होते हैं तो उन लोगों को खिलाना पड़ता है, but after a few months they are able to hold and take a grip over the things, and then they can drink or eat by themselves also. Here you can see achieving control of one's movement to learn to do something new is called learning a skill. Now here you can see this child is able to eat by his own hands. Okay, nobody is feeding this child. So this child has learned a particular skill of eating with his own hands. Okay, so achieving control of one's movement to learn to do something new is called learning a skill. So this child has learned a skill of eating by his hands. As a baby learns various skills, the baby and everybody in the house is very happy. They praise the baby. The baby does the same things again and again. राइट हम लोग जब बच्चे बोलने लगते हैं तो हम लोग उससे बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं और हम लोग उसे प्रेज करते हैं, एंड द चाइल्ड टेंड्स टू डू द सेम थिंग अगेन एंड अगेन. Thus she gets a lot of practice with those skills and her strength also builds up. Slowly she begins to do the newly learned task more easily and without making mistakes. That is, her efficiency increases. Same thing happens when you are learning to write also. When you are small kids, what happens? You are not able to hold the pencil or the pen on your own. But now, after a few years have passed, when you were in first standard, teacher asked you to hold the pencil, they taught you to hold the pencil and write a few letters, right? And after a few practices, बहुत सारी practice करने के बाद हम लोगों को ये alphabets लिखने आ गए हैं. And now जब हम लोग को अल्फाबेट्स लिखने आ गए हैं, हम लोग अच्छी तरीके से सेंटेंसेस फॉर्म करके भी लिख सकते हैं. यस और नो, है ना? सो वी बिकम मोर एफिशिएंट एंड we tend to make less mistakes if we are practicing the skill over and over again. Every day we keep learning. That makes it easier to learn new skills. After learning to walk, the child learns to do more difficult things like running, hopping on one leg, or catching a ball. These new tasks also includes activities that are a part of our daily routine, such as eating with one's own hands, washing one's own face, having a bath, dressing oneself, etc. So you must have seen that when the small babies learn to walk, they hold something for support and then they walk. Okay. After a few months, they can walk on their own without any support. After a few days, what will happen? They are able to eat by their own hand. They can dress themselves up. They can wash their own face. So these are a few learning skills that you develop over a period of time. For example, once the child is able to hold something, she can learn to throw a ball also. So when a small child is able to hold something, then they will learn, after holding, they will learn how they can throw it. Okay, when you ask them to throw, they will first see how it is thrown and then they will be able to throw the ball. The next important thing that we have is development. As we grow, our height and weight increases. With age, our physical strength also increases. At the same time, we keep learning new skills. In this way, every individual makes progress. This is called development. We have learned that when you are born till the time you are growing, okay, we keep on growing. Our body shows various changes. Along with the changes, we are learning new skills also. ठीक है, so new skills are developed and the new skills help us to make progress. ठीक है, हम लोगों को आगे बढ़ने में मदद करती है and that is called as development. These animals learn from their mother the skills of obtaining their food, protecting themselves from the sun and rain, and from their enemies. After that, they begin to live independently. Here you can see the you will always find a mother hen, and the chicks follow the hen. Okay, the chicks follow the mother. What do is they learn to eat, they learn how to obtain food, they learn how to protect themselves, how to run and find something or some place where they can hide and protect themselves from sun, from rain, from enemies. And once they become independent, means once they learn all these techniques, they become independent and they live independent. Here you can see, once they learn, now they do not need their mother. They can go on their own in search of food, protect themselves from predators, from enemies, from other animals, from sun and rain. Animals learn only a certain number of skills in their life, like collecting food. ठीक है, उन लोगों के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट जो जो चीज़ होती है, बेसिक लाइफ के लिए जो जो चीज़ें इम्पोर्टेंट होती है, the animals learn only a certain number of skills in their life, like protecting themselves from the weather conditions and obtaining food, protecting themselves from the enemies, and building houses. Okay, some animals can build house, some live in den. So according to their requirements, animals learn only a few skills in their entire life. But in comparison, human beings go on learning many more things throughout their life. They can dance, they learn cycling, they learn computers, they learn swimming. So many things they learn in comparison to the animals. Animals do not need to cycle, they do not need to dance. Okay, but animals comparison में जो humans होते हैं, हम जो होते हैं, वो ज़्यादा skills learn करते हैं over the period of time throughout our life. ठीक है, बूढ़े होने तक भी हम लोग बहुत सारी नई नई चीज़ skills सीखते रहते हैं. Some of the early skills like walking and running come with age, without having to be taught. However, we have to be taught many of the skills we learn later. ये चलना, खाना, ये सब हम लोग को सिखाने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, ये हम लोग ऑटोमेटिकली सीख जाते हैं. From standing up, from walking to running, this you do over the period of time. थोड़ी एज जैसी जैसी बढ़ती है वैसे वैसे हम लोग ये कर लेते हैं. But there are certain skills like swimming, like playing football. These are a few skills that we learn over the period of time. और बहुत सारी चीज़ें हम लोग हमारे पेरेंट्स से, टीचर्स से सीखते हैं. So with this, I hope the part of the chapter is quite clear to all of you. In this part, we have learned what is the meaning of growth, what is development, and in the next coming period, we'll be learning personality development and other things related to that. Okay, till then, thank you. This session was quite useful to you. In the next coming period, we'll learn something new and interesting. Till then, thank you.